should be out of here by the end of the day.
The hospital's been issued a subpoena regarding Heather Weber.
Special reason for this visit?
Do you trust her father enough to do what he's asking you to do?
If you want to change your statement, the night agent case was killed. He had to be stopped.
Heather sure hit the jackpot with Rick as her lawyer. The guy's sharp as a tack and saw right through Ava's lies. Now he's closing in on Portia, who's about to get her well-deserved comeuppance. Let's be real, G8 is overdue for this subpoena. After all, they've got a co-chief of staff who's not only unethical but downright shady. Time to let Liz do her job, get Heather the justice she deserves, and show Portia the door. It's about time someone dealt with that. Meanwhile, Diane should have no problem getting Sonny off the hook, given that his meds were tampered with. And of course, Kate's knew that and kept pushing Sonny's buttons anyway. Classic. Then there's Brennan, swooping in to save Carly yet again with a gun, because why not? Now Jason's stuck owing him a favor. Good luck with that, Jason. Honestly, I can't wait for Portia to finally be held accountable for what she did to Heather. She should lose her job and her medical license, no question. But of course, she'll probably try to pin the whole lab results mess on Brad. Poor guy, Portia clearly doesn't like him and is itching to get him fired. But here's the kicker. When Curtis finds out what she's been up to, she can kiss her marriage goodbye. And let's not forget about those DNA results. Portia's more than likely had them altered to make Curtis look like Trina's father when Taggart's the real dad. So predictable. As for Sonny, he'll probably escape any real consequences for Jagger's death, like always. Someone else will likely end up taking the fall. Shocking, right? Not. Then there's this whole mess with Portia's shady antics. Can someone just tell her what she did was illegal? The panic alone would be entertaining. Honestly, this story is one giant soap opera catastrophe, and I'm living for it. Who found the gun? Will Chrissy mess it all up? And how are Carly and Sonny going to avoid prison this time? This is the soap world at its finest. On another note, I suppose I can get used to Martin without the accent. But please, can we at least bring back his gorgeous hair and beard? The man looked so much better that way. And don't even get me started on dropping the accent for Lois and Martin. It's just plain dumb. Oh, and it looks like Jason's about to take over the mob again, just in time for Sam to tragically die, leaving him to raise Danny. Meanwhile, Dante's off with Rocco and Lulu. Naturally, Jason's going to want out of the mob for Danny's sake, and I'm betting Sonny will be out of prison just in time for Thanksgiving in Port Charles. Can't wait to see Jason and Danny spend the holidays together, because that's how it always goes, right? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Okay, so Lucky taking his anger out on innocent customers, not cool. Sure, I get he's upset, but Carly's now stuck footing the bill to fix the damage, and her employees lose out on pay and tips. It's ridiculous, but I have to admit, that reunion with Laura almost had me in tears. Now, here's a question. Why hasn't anyone thought to track down Ethan yet? It's like he's vanished into thin air. Carly actually made a good point when Sonny said he's turning himself in to get Alexis out. If he does that, Carly's going down with him. He already told Chase he was with Carly when Jagger got shot. All they need to do is retrieve the gun Kristina swiped and Alexis chucked into the river. Once they examine it and find out it wasn't fired, and the bullets don't match the ones that killed Jagger, everyone walks away clean. Plus, with Sonny's other guns accounted for and Jason taking care of the shells, it should all work out in theory. Now, as for Portia, fingers crossed that her scheming is about to blow up in her face. Brad's too sharp not to notice something's off. He'll catch those conflicting lab results, and with a little help from Spinelli, because of course he's the tech whiz we need. Portia's career is going to crash and burn. Can't say I'll be sorry to see it. Speaking of dragging things out, how long is this Alexis and Heather storyline going to go on? It's fun, sure, but seriously, what more can they do to Alexis? At least she finally has a plot, but with all these twists and turns, it's getting hard to keep up. And seriously, where did Martin's heavy Southern accent go? Do the writers think we wouldn't notice? Lol. Anyway, Alexis will probably get out of jail just in time to deal with her daughter, Kristina, who's way too busy sticking her nose in everyone's business. That girl seriously needs a roll of duct tape. Soon enough, everyone's going to see Portia for the liar she is, especially when it comes out that she tampered with Heather's blood test results. Rick and Ava are already onto her. It's only a matter of time. And what's the deal with that gun sent to Anna all packaged up? The shine was off, it was silver, and Alexis dropped something into the water that wasn't even the same. It wasn't Sam who found it, and PCPD didn't either, so how long until they let Alexis off the hook? Meanwhile, they're grilling Sonny and Carly about their so-called abilities. This whole thing is just one long mess that somehow keeps getting messier. So, was Brad working at GH when Portia tampered with Heather's test results? I really hope not. If he was, that's going to get messy fast. But knowing Brad, if he was around, he probably knows exactly what Portia did. He's sharp like that, and you know he'd be the first to spill the tea. As for the PCPD, oh, don't even get me started. They're the worst, and Anna, total hypocrite. I mean, she helped Valentin skip town to dodge prosecution for his laundry list of crimes, but now she wants to act all high and mighty. Please, she should be the one getting fired and prosecuted, not playing cop. Then there's Dant. It looks like he might swoop in with a last-ditch effort to stop Sonny from confessing. Because let's be honest, if Sonny spills, the PCPD won't release the evidence to clear Alexis until he does, which is just ridiculous. And Cody's clearly figured all of this out while chatting with Dante. He might be the key to stopping this whole train wreck. And don't even get me started on Portia. She needs to get exposed, and soon. The woman's been playing dirty for far too long. It's only a matter of time before her house of cards comes tumbling down. Now, as for Kristina, she better not start throwing shade at Michael once the truth finally comes out. He's been nothing but helpful, not only to her but to their dad too. She needs to get a grip and realize Michael actually had her back through all of this. What a mess, right? Where do we even start with Kristina, right? She's been making poor decisions for as long as we can remember, and Alexis has been right there cleaning up after her every time. Underage drinking, drugs, driving without a license, leading to the loss of her own unborn sibling, and she barely seemed to care about the consequences. Then there was that false accusation against her boyfriend, which nearly got him killed and dragged others into serious danger. And of course, Alexis came to the rescue, taking matters into her own hands in that hit-and-run incident. Kristina's stunt with Johnny Zacchara was another prime example, pretending to date him for attention, and she almost got caught in a car bomb because of it. You'd think she'd learn from these close calls, but no, she goes to Ava, and the result? Another tragedy when she loses her baby. And after all that, Sonny and Alexis still pull strings to get her into Yale. And what does she do in return? She stars in that infamous Mob Princess show. Talk about a way to say thanks. It didn't take long for her to get into more trouble, jail time, then enrolling at another university where she got into a scandal involving her grades. Instead of owning up to it, she covered her tracks by hacking Alexis's emails and intercepting mail. And if that wasn't enough, she went and joined a dangerous cult, putting more people at risk. Kristina seems to jump from one disaster to the next. Alexis, meanwhile, isn't exactly known for making the best choices herself. Falling for dangerous men like Rick, Sonny, and Julian Jerome seems to be a recurring pattern. It's almost become her thing. What really stings is Alexis being so willing to let Carly's life fall apart just to make sure Kristina doesn't lose sleep over Sonny facing prison time for something he actually did. But if Carly were to try something similar, you can bet there'd be a major outcry. As for Sidwell, there's speculation about him possibly killing Holly, which could result in Lulu receiving her liver in a surprising twist. And then there's Sam. If she ends up sacrificing herself for her mom and confessing to something major like Jagger's death in the process, her final act could save Lulu's life. It's just a theory, but knowing how wild things get, it wouldn't be the most shocking development. Let's hope it doesn't turn out darker than expected. So, who really delivered that supposedly missing weapon to the Port Charles PD? It's hilarious how Rick and Elizabeth could magically tell what caliber or type of gun Alexis tossed off the bridge that night, like they had superhuman vision or something. It was dark, and they weren't even that close. Here's my running theory. Rick had the gun the whole time. I bet he went back that same night, found it after watching Alexis throw it, and kept it hidden. He was angry with her over Molly, and making Alexis suffer seemed like his way of getting back at her. Fast forward to yesterday. Rick's conscience probably caught up with him, and he anonymously dropped the package at the police station to clear Alexis. Maybe he realized things had gone too far. It'll probably take months for everyone to piece this together, though. Then again, it could have been Sam who found the gun, but I'm not buying that. My money's still on Rick. Meanwhile, Sonny's gearing up to turn himself in for the death of Agent John Cates, along with a pile of other unproven crimes, all in the name of protecting Alexis and Carly, the mothers of his children. It's like he's on some kind of martyr mission, especially to protect Carly. But what I don't get is why Alexis is mad at Carly. Alexis is just as guilty of covering for her kids. She's done the same thing with Kristina. Carly's doing what she always does, looking out for the people she loves. Diane, on the other hand, isn't sugarcoating things. She tells Jason straight up that, despite how much he cares about Sonny and Carly, he can't keep sacrificing himself for them. Jason has his own kids, Danny and Jake, to think about. The stakes are too high for him to throw himself into the fire for someone else's mess. And then there's Michael, stepping in just in time to stop Kristina from spilling everything to Anna about Agent Cates. He's in full protective mode, trying to save Alexis from herself once again. As if that wasn't enough drama, someone actually mailed the gun that Alexis tossed into the river right to the PCPD. The timing is just way too convenient. On the family front, Laura and Lucky had a bittersweet heart-to-heart. Their reunion was emotional, with both of them worried sick about Lulu's fate. Whether she'll live or die is hanging over them like a dark cloud. Olivia's doing her best, too, telling Dante she's reached out to everyone she knows, desperate for someone to be a match to save Lulu. You can feel the weight of it all crushing everyone involved. Wow, Brennan is really pulling out all the stops to win over Carly, huh? I mean, what do you all think? Is he involved with the gun, or is that just a wild coincidence? And can we please talk about Holly and Lucky? Seriously, their storylines are just painful to watch. What a terrible decision to bring them back. Lucky is still that entitled brat throwing tantrums at the diner like it's his personal playground. And Holly? She's like a relic from the 90s. Maybe she should just stay there. Now, here's a real head-scratcher. Why are they checking Nicholas, Lulu's half-brother, but completely skipping over Holly? I mean, she's his half-sister too, and she's in town. They literally went halfway around the world for Lucky. Is anyone else just baffled by this? Here's my theory. General Hospital and Tony Geary are holding secret meetings, and Luke Spencer is making a dramatic return to save Lulu's life. Yes, I know Tony Geary is retired, but come on, this is soap opera logic. Weirder things have happened. Also, if anyone could fill me in on the highlights of GH that I missed while I was at my brother-in-law's funeral, that would be great. Now, let's get back to Nina. Remember when she was supposed to be the town's most hated villain, chased out with pitchforks for reporting a crime? What's Carly going to face for her little conspiracy to cover up a murder and leaving an innocent woman in jail? A parade? A medal? I can't wait to find out. Lucky? Really? So, I just started watching General Hospital after my Young and the Restless burnout. And honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around all the characters. But can we talk about Lucky? This scrawny little guy looks like he couldn't survive a single night in my backyard, let alone 13 years in some of the most dangerous places on Earth. For those who don't know, Lucky's parents are Luke and Laura, the most iconic soap couple of all time. Lucky started on the show when he was just 11 years old, and his childhood was nothing short of a wild ride. Think living life on the run from villains, vanishing off the grid, and picking up every survival trick you can imagine. Sure, he may be small and skinny, but he's got skills that could keep him alive longer than almost any other character on this show, except maybe Jason. Let's not forget, Lucky is a Spencer. These folks have a knack for surviving and coming out on top. The writers haven't been showcasing that classic Spencer charm and grit lately, but I'm holding out hope that they'll reveal what makes Lucky such a great character. Because right now, I'm just not seeing it. Wow, isn't Sonny just the epitome of a hero? I was watching General Hospital with my little sister, who's never seen it before, and thanks to NAC Mania, she got curious and started binging Sprina clips on YouTube. She knows how much Spencer adores Uncle Sonny. So there we were, and she goes, "Wow, Spencer's uncle is such a good guy for confessing to something he didn't do just to help that lady out of jail." Cue my eye roll. I had to break it down for her. Sonny is such a stand-up guy for confessing to a murder he actually committed. And what's Alexis doing? Not a single flinch. I was really hoping she'd say something like, "How could you let me take the fall for this?" Then there are all the kids rallying around to stop him from confessing, even Kristina, whose mom is currently rotting in jail for the same thing. I'm just so over the show trying to give the mob boss with a heart of gold treatment when he's the one who killed AJ and a whole bunch of others in cold blood. What a stellar role model, right? Was Lucas living on a block with no cell service? It's honestly strange seeing him back in town and acting like he doesn't know a single thing about anyone's life. He emailed Michael? Really? Are we supposed to believe that no one in Boston has cell phones? I mean, come on, aren't they family? You'd think they'd keep in touch enough to know the basic updates about each other's lives. It feels so bizarre to bring him back, just so we can listen to him catch up like he's been living under a rock. I guess the idea is that Lucas was so heartbroken over losing Wiley and Brad that he moved away and intentionally disconnected from everything in Port Charles, aside from his sisters and mom. And once Bobby died, he went even more Mia. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.